the idea gelled to do a live record album. And this was very democratic. Every band chipped in, I think, 15 or 25 bucks for the money it takes to rent the equipment. And everybody had to buy their own roll of tape. And then we went around and borrowed equipment from other sound systems, other nightclubs, all the stuff we could put together, microphones. And we had a one-night show, and the goal was to make enough money at the door to pay the pressing costs of the record album. So the whole thing was self-financing for 15 or however many dollars a band. Everybody could put their own album together. And it worked. It was, I think, the first live punk album for multiple bands, a compilation called in the trade, that was recorded all in one night. The first one ever. So I think it did a lot to help put Portland on the map, and to do a lot to bring local bands more empowered with their own music and not reliant like they are today. They're at the mercy of concert promoters and club owners, and the bands could do it themselves.
At the Earth Tavern, which is now it's a real estate office, but that was a great space, and that's the place where 10/29/79 was recorded.
Oh yeah, speaking of fast too, the way that show was organized, the 10/29 thing, you know, I mean, the plan for that that we had, it actually worked out great. Bands got up there and they did their thing, they moved their gear, and everything just went really smooth. You know,
Corboy and Stan, and I don't know who had put this cover together. It shows a picture of Portland's skyline, which had been torn and crumpled up, so it looked like all the buildings were falling over. And the picture of everybody fleeing was a senior citizens exercise class that had been clipped out of National Geographic magazine. And the flying saucers up above were something out of they were records out of a 1950s Columbia Records advertisement. I was really knocked out. I thought the cover was one of the best parts of the record. It was very well put together. And it really showed all the way around how, you know, a small group of bands that had virtually no resources at all. I mean, nobody had a job back then. Nobody had any dough. We had no support from anybody. And just by sheer work, how a group of a dozen or however many bands could simply put together this project and do it so well, so that, you know, from a standpoint of cover quality, or sound quality, it was as good as anything that came out in the world for what it was at the time.